Well, I seem to have pissed a lot of people off the other day when I made my little quick review of the new Tool album, Fear Inoculum, and I said it was boring. Which is objectively true, but it's totally understandable that Tool fans looking for reviews of the new Tool album would naturally dislike someone saying that it's not everything they expect it to be, and it's likely a combination of overly high expectations just from the sheer volume of time we've all been waiting for Tool to put out a new album, and as I said in that video, it could also just be that Maynard might have burned himself out a little bit by doing too many side projects. He's no Mike Patton. But I wanted to do in this video to actually recommend something that is interesting and not boring, and that is Mongolian heavy metal. For some reason recently, Amazon Digital Music has decided to start recommending me all these Mongolian bands, and I must admit, I'm quite enjoying the Mongolian metal scene, so I'm going to recommend 3 bands and 1 honorable mention. The metal bands that I'm going to recommend, starting off with The Who, spelled H-U. They're might be technically the best out of these 3, but that could also just be a factor of they have generally better production quality and seem to have a bit more money behind them. They got an album coming out called The Garrug, and about half of the tracks off that are already available. I'm going to leave some links in the description below for some songs from these various bands so you can check them out. Next, I'm going to recommend Tanger Cavalry. They're pretty cool. Have a nice kind of dark spiritual sound. And another one I quite like so far is Nine Treasures. Now, the honorable mention is a band called Hangai. They're not quite so metal as the other 3. There are little hints of it, but at the same time, there's a great amount of variety in the tracks that they have on the album that I have listened to, called Baifang. Some stuff that's just like lullabies or things that seem real much like classical, traditional Mongolian steppe songs kind of stuff translated with a little bit of, rock and roll kind of overtones. But it's all really good stuff, and I very much recommend you check it out. It's way more interesting than a lot of the stuff that's produced in the States nowadays. For years now, I've just had this kind of problem where pretty much every band here uses the exact same combination of instruments in the exact same numbers, and it's stale. I'm sorry. That just is what it is. That doesn't reflect on you, and in regards to the whole Tool thing, I'm not saying that it's bad, it's just boring. I expect more from them. They're talented musicians. We should have gotten an album that had more pop to it. I mean, 10,000 Days had moments that just really just stand out as like, well, this is badass little moment here. Same thing with Anima. Hell, even Opiate. I'm not a huge Undertow fan or Latterus fan. They're average albums. And I guess, yeah, Fear Inoculum is just another average album. But that's why I say check out some Mongolian heavy metal. It's delicious.